You know, the United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the ape, the young man who has become a legend in his own time. Come on, answer. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Oh, what's up, everybody? You know, sometimes I can't handle the truth. In any case, welcome, everybody. It's just 7 p.m. Thursday. It's May 15th already, I believe. It's this is Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all over the place. And preparing for TikTok. But anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Started out kind of crazy, but, it's okay now. Oh, boy. So, yeah. So got a lot to talk about today. I got to talk about those alpha females. Alpha female. And I got the idea about that from the alpha females destined to be single forever. Oh boy, and more in just a few minutes. So anyway, everybody, it's just about a couple of minutes past the hour. It's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Now you can check us out on Facebook, on LinkedIn, live, and in living color. And I just got the notification a few minutes ago. The Ron Kelly Show is live on LinkedIn. So if you're a LinkedIn person, if you're down with the business of business, you can check out the Ron Kelly Show on LinkedIn while you scroll through looking for the job or whatever it is that you are trying to do. In any case, so I don't understand. Locally speaking, everybody on the national side of things. Locally speaking, Mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, was arrested trying to inspect a halfway house that's being used to house migrants, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them. And so the mayor got arrested last week. And when it just so happens, I was just driving right past there and I saw a little commotion and I was wondering, well, what's that about? And I said, well, maybe I'll find out later on RLS Media or News 12 New Jersey, one of those entities that specifically focus on the state of New Jersey. And I saw that he had gotten arrested. And I'm like, wow, for what? So what they say, and that they saying that he trespassed. That's what they're saying. But when you see the video, you can see him walking into the place. Now, I think that order came from the top. That order came from the top to arrest Ras Baraka. And then some other people are calling it a scheme to defraud, a publicity stunt, or whatever the case may be, to give him wider recognition, because everybody knows him now. If they didn't really know him then, prior to what happened, they actually really do know him now. And so some folks are asserting that that's a publicity stunt, So, you're going to hear all kinds of stuff. Maybe it was, I don't know. But, Ras Baraka, the mayor of Newark, was arrested last week. And I think that he's supposed to go to court today, as a matter of fact. Ras Baraka was supposed to go to court. I believe he's supposed to go to court today. I'm going to look it up real quick. But I think that he's supposed to go to court today. For they charged him with trespassing. Yeah, trial. Yeah, it's a trial. I mean, give me a break. But that message came from the top. I need to let you know. That message came from the top. That came from Trump himself or somebody very close to him to arrest Ras Baraka. If it is in fact not a scheme, it was orchestrated by the Trump people. You see, because Rome is burning right now. Rome is burning, and nobody's really paying attention to what's going on. I don't hear anybody talking about what Trump is doing. Now, you heard the story about the Afrikaners, folks from South Africa, white folks. And now that South Africa has been rightfully restored to black folks, the white folks that live in South Africa are running for the hills. And Trump, invited them to come to the United States of America, zoom right through customs and immigration and everything. Now, meanwhile, the rest of the world, especially the black and brown folks, can't get a ticket. But Trump brings in South Africans, they call them Afrikaners, the white folks, who were a part of apartheid. Oh, my thing is freezing. Yeah, I know. Just give me a second here. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, yeah. So, he brought the white folks, Afrikaners, into the United States of America and froze out everybody else. Froze out everybody else, but brought in white folks from Africa, South Africa, who may have been involved in the apartheid. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble with my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is acting strangely. Hopefully I'll be able to come on, continue to do the program. And I don't understand what's going on here with this. Anyway, it's 7 minutes past the hour. So so Trump brings Trump brings white folks when he shut out the rest of the world, especially the black and brown, the Venezuelans, the Haitians, the Venezuelans, the Haitians, the Mexicans, all the black and brown folks are being shut out. All the black and brown folks are being shut out of the United States of America right now. And Trump decides to bring in white Afrikaners, pull out the red carpet for these people. Put out the red carpet for the white Afrikaners, folks from South Africa. While everybody else, Mexicans, Venezuelans, Peruvians, you name it, whoever, if you're black or if you're brown, Haitians, Dominicans, whatever, if you're black or you're brown, you can't come to the United States of America right now. But if you're white South Africans, oh, sure, come on in. You see, people are just not paying attention to what's going on in the United States of America right now. Just not paying attention, because I don't hear anybody talking about this stuff. Now, because Trump has he has unmitigated power. He has the Supreme Court of the United States of America, 3 of which he appointed. 6 are conservatives. Only 3 are progressives or liberals. So he's got a 6-3 advantage in the Supreme Court. And then you turn around to the Senate, the United States Senate, which is also Republican. I mean, it's not the biggest margin, but it's enough to swing things the Republicans' way. And then you have the Congress, which is Republican as well. So you got Supreme Court, you got the United States Senate, you got the United States Congress on your side. So Trump has unmitigated power right now. And it's the same power that Barack Obama had. Barack Obama had that same power at one time. And when they lost the midterms, he lost. When they lost the midterms, when Barack Obama lost the midterms, when Barack Obama was president, he lost the midterms. Right? Yeah, because now this guy is going to have the same problem, Donald Trump. So all of this is good stuff that's happening right now. All of this is good stuff. But he's going to have the same problem as Barack Obama did in the middle of his second term, in the middle of his first term, 2010, when they lost the midterms. Now, the midterms is an election that takes place. They call it the midterms because they come up midway through the president's term. So it's like the second year of the 4-year term that the president serves that the midterms take place. Now, the only hope that we have right now is that Trump screws things up so bad that he loses the Congress, because he needs the Congress. He can't afford to lose the Senate or the Congress. He needs both of them, because the bills come up from the Senate, from the Congress. That's where the bills come from. That's where the proposals come from, Congress, handed up to the Senate. And then if the Senate agrees, then the president signs it. So, and people, and then nobody, I can't really say nobody, but not a whole lot of people are paying attention to what's going on with Donald Trump. First, you have the Afrikaners, and then this country wants to give him a plane. This country, Qatar, oil rich, billions and billions of dollars, wants to give Trump a plane. Now, Bob Menendez, who's a senator from New Jersey, got indicted and convicted for accepting gifts. Bob Menendez, look it up. Senators going to jail next month, or July, I think it is, for accepting gifts. You look at, right here in New York. Eric Adams tried for accepting gifts. Made a deal with Trump to get out of jail, I guess. Because the government doesn't drop cases. They don't do that. The United States government does not drop cases. So that case is gone now. Now, Eric Adams may still lose, but that case is gone. It's a wrap. So Bob Menendez, Eric Adams were, almost Bob Menendez is going to jail. Eric Adams got lucky somehow or another. He got out of that. I believe he was guilty, But so I believe that Eric Adams was guilty. Now, but he got out of it. So, the conversation, the Constitution clearly states. The Constitution clearly states that you're not supposed to take any gifts. United States of America, you're not supposed to take any gift, and no government official is supposed to take a gift. Now, this is a serious gift, $400 million airplane. But the plane, everybody thought the plane was new, but the plane is not new. The plane is 13 years old. It's not new. It's a used gift. But because it's a plane, that's all overlooked. You see, because we're moving into a different era now, We're in a different era, and people need to wake up. People need to mobilize. People need to wake up and smell the coffee. What's going on? Almost $1 trillion of Medicaid cuts. You know what that's going to do, especially to the Black and brown community, folks who don't have access to health care as much as white folks. You know what that's going to do? Cuts to SNAP and WIC and You know, Section 8 will probably be frozen. Yeah, I got an issue with Section 8 as far as how long people stay on there, but they still need to keep it going. So all of these things are going to be gone. I mean, what are the people going to do? People on Medicaid, Medicare, old folks living in the senior building, what are they going to do? You know, what are those folks going to do? So these are the things that's happening. Now, we haven't heard about Musk lately. I think Musk took a step back from the White House, which he should have done because his business was going to hell. And he should have stepped away from the White House. So I'm glad I'm not hearing about him every day. But you see, these things are going on right now and nobody's paying attention. And not to say nobody, but nobody's really paying attention. The Project 2025 is in full swing. And Trump is passing these executive orders. Some of them he tells us about, some of them he doesn't tell us about, depending on the popularity of the order. So Trump is, for example, they have an order. Trump had an order, executive order. It was signed by the Congress. I'm going to talk about that. Now, this is very controversial, and you are definitely going to want to hear this. I'll talk about that on the other side of this break. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the Ron Kelly Show.com. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Everybody, the Ron Kelly Show is brought to you in part by Amazon Border for Transportation for 45 years. Yes, 45 years. If somebody's doing something for 45 years, you know they're doing something right. 45 years, American Border Patrol Transportation has been providing safe, reliable transportation to and from your destination. You name it, they do it. Casino trips, school trips, school districts, transporting children, medical, all of that good stuff. American Border Patrol has an outstanding record of safety when it comes to these things. I know you want your kids to be safe, and you can trust and believe American Border Patrol will keep your kids safe. So it's 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423. It's American Border Patrol, located at 307 Arlington Avenue in the city of Plainfield, New Jersey. Now, just because you live in different areas of the tri-state doesn't mean they can't help you. So give them a call, 908-753-6423, 908-753-6423 for American Border Patrol Transportation, which is with the Ron Kelly Radio Show, sponsored in part by American Border Patrol Transportation. Good deal. All right, everybody, it's just about 20 minutes past the hour. So Trump passes a law, and you know, this is stuff that I know a lot of us, because it hasn't really hit us yet with the things that Trump's doing. I mean, it's going to hit us soon. It's taking its time, drip, 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 because we're down at the bottom. You know, we're down at the bottom. So what Trump is doing is not going to affect us. But see, when those tax cuts go into place for the rich, guess who's going to pay for it? Me and you. when the tax cuts for the rich, you and I are going to pay for it. This is what's going to happen. Just like the last time Trump was in office, 2016 to 2020, and he cut the corporate tax 21%. 21% is unbelievable. 21% Trump cut the taxes for businesses, rich folks, 21%. I mean, wow. And then it was supposed to, the money was supposed to go toward hiring more people, expanding the business. Guess what? You don't have to guess. They didn't do it. Nobody did it. They kept the money. Matter of fact, they kept the money offshore because they didn't want to pay American taxes. But yeah, so that's the deal. You're gonna pay. Now this here, I mean, it's not touching us yet. You know, I guess that's kind of why people are not paying attention. I mean, some of us are, like myself and other folks, Reverend Al Sharpton and so many other people who are watching this. Now, Trump passed a law. Well, he didn't pass the law, but he got his rubber stamp Congress and Senate to help him pass a law that they call them activist judges. Now, what does that mean? An activist judge is somebody who doesn't agree with Trump. You know, that's an activist. So Trump gets this law passed that activist judges cannot rule on his executive orders. Let me say that again. Trump passed a law that says that judges who are supposed to be free to judge whatever. I mean, that's what the whole judge system is about. The judge observes, is a former lawyer or whatever, he observes a hearing and he makes a ruling based on the Constitution of the United States of America. So now Trump is trying to get Trump is trying to be a Putin. He's trying to be a Putin. He's trying to be a Victor Orban. He's trying to be a Kim Jong-un. That's what Trump wants to do. He wants to have total control. He doesn't want anybody to be able to tell him no. And he's getting there. So now when Trump passes these ridiculous laws, guess what's going to happen? When he puts up he just took the teeth right out of the justice system, because when he puts up a law or he puts up an executive order, no judge is going to be able to stop it. No judge is going to be able to stop it. And just, you know, so if he puts up an executive order saying black people have to be, if Trump puts up an executive order that says black folks have to be in the house by 10 o'clock and it passes, guess what? You're going to have to be in the house. Because right now, Trump is working toward having total control of everything. I mean, that's scary. And again, nobody's paying attention to this stuff. Trump took the power away from judges. So when he puts up an executive order, and somebody sues, there really is not much the judge can do. There's nothing that the judge can do. And this is what judges, I mean, this is in the Constitution. This was what judges, and this is what it's about. You know, if somebody wants to sue, then you have a judge to say, hey, you got a case or you don't have a case. And now these judges are not going to be able to say anything about what Trump does. And y'all, I mean, I can understand it. You know, if you're not really into this kind of stuff, you're not going to be paying attention to what's going on, but it's going on. And eventually it's going to float down to us down at the bottom. You see Trump bring those white people in from South Africa? That's significant. That should make you, that should worry you. And then he keeps all the black and brown people out. keeps the Mexicans, the Salvadorans, the Ecuadorians, the Venezuelans, the Haitians, all have to stay out. But he rolls out the red carpet for these white people from South Africa who were there during apartheid, whatever you want to say. These white folks were there during apartheid, but now that the tables have turned and South Africa is ruled by primarily black folks, now they want to leave. So Trump says, "Hey, come on to America," but you N-words and you spics and you S-hole country people, you still have to stay where you are. So this should worry you. You should be worried about this. That's an indicator of things to come. You should be. A lot of us are not, and I hear you. You trying to get to work, you trying to do your thing, make your money, pay your bills, yada, yada, yada. But I'm telling you that this thing with Trump is just the tip of the iceberg. I am very concerned about the fact that he brought those, and not that I got anything against white folks. I work for white folks. Everything I get comes from white folks. So it's not that I have a problem with them, not at all. But these people from South Africa, the apartheid people who Trump rolled out the red carpet, had them on TV, and they're probably going to get housing and money and everything else. Because these are Trump's people, the people who perpetrated and killed hundreds, thousands of blacks in South Africa during apartheid. Nelson Mandela in jail for 26 years. Those are the same people. Trump likes those people because you know why? Because he's one of them. He's one of those people. And he's trying to figure out how he can put the clamps down on black and brown people in America. He's trying to figure it out because he knows he's got to be careful with the people who already live here. He's got to be careful with the people who were born here. He has to be careful. But he's trying to figure out what he can do about minorities. Because, the majority white folks, MAGA people, don't want no minorities in America. They want everybody out. They want everybody out. So, it's scary. I mean, it's scary to me because I pay attention to this stuff, as a lot of us don't, because, we're trying to live our lives and, kids and wives, husbands, family, whatever the case may be. So a lot of us, are just not paying attention. And the other fact too, that it hasn't trickled down to us yet, but it's going to. It's going to. And when it does, everybody's going to wake up and be like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on here? But it's going to be too late. Project 2025 is a real thing. If you've never read anything, read